Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Always good. The reason behind this, this is the way you actually have to believe. If you see in Pakistan series, like 26 for 6, and then we came back from there. So those are the good positive things, when everyone started believing we can win the game or we can come back from any situation. So it's always a great environment, especially when you have a fight back like that. No, I think there is concern, but the moral of the story is, like when you start winning matches like that, people start believing themselves, especially from the top order also. It's always you see Test cricket is the beauty of Test cricket is you when you fight back, especially you see lower orders, any team's lower orders when they start fighting well, tactically, like you do, you putting lots of pressure on opposition. So I think that's a great sign, and obviously, like sooner or later, like when those guys gonna click, just imagine, like they can challenge any team, inshallah. As much as we can, especially now, as long as we can bat, as long as we score consistently, and whatever the lead we can get. From my point of view, we have to believe from any situation. Like the belief has to be there, and when you have a belief and confidence, you can challenge any team. As I always believe that. So I think we are looking for as much as runs we can. Why not? You see, that's the evidence I just spoke. 26 for 6, and you win the test match from there. That's the belief. That's belief has to be there. And that comes from us, first of all, coaching staff, and then obviously players start believing that. So I think in cricket, you got to believe from any situation. And my life, the players I played with, I think I always believe that if we as a team is, I'm using the word we, when we start believing, like we can come back and we fight, we don't worry about the outcome. As long as we know the process and fight back, and I believe that you can come back from any situation. Inshallah, third time I'm saying 26 for 6, and you win the game. And inshallah, they can. Why not? You just got to believe that. And believe, like when I would talk about believe, like the believe word is when you know the process how to win matches, you don't give up actually. You believe every single person who's going to go and bat. In first innings, for example, Tajul batted beautifully, like that 21 runs, or what 16 or 17 runs he did. That is a fight. When you see as an opposition, like we're not going to give up. People start respecting you. When people start respecting you, you can challenge any team. I think more than us, they are more disappointed because they done the hard work. Mushi, as you know, Mushi, like when he gets in, he goes for big. And same Joy, I'm very impressed with the young man. You see, like he's got a great temperament. He fought like very, very like a tiger basically. Like he was receiving a good first innings. The first 3 hours was a very dodgy pitch. Like ball was seaming basically morely, and he was fighting. He was not. I was actually funny enough. I was talking to him today, and I said during the first innings, he said the ball was like, especially Rabada was swinging out, and then after landing the ball was coming back. So I was playing for one swing, one seam, and I was just protecting my stumps and LBW's things. And then I believe that if I can survive that, I can score runs. That belief, that confidence, when young people have that, so it means we are in a good shape. I think definitely as a professional, when you work really hard and take that, like when you go through that phase where you have to take that, all the opposition strength away, and then when you coming to score runs and then you got out, you always feel disappointed.
Ustad, there is a new head coach in the charge, and what he is doing in the dressing room, like is he just observing or is actively participating in decision-making processes? How the other rest of the coaching staff members are gelling up with Mr. Phil Simmons?
I think very nicely. Phil's a very relaxed guy. I think he believes on environment, and he's a good man. I think I start working. This is my first time working with him, sharing a dressing room. I think he's a good man, and obviously he has to see like when you take over and start making a decision for any team, it's going to take some time. So I think maybe a couple of series is going to take him to understand the culture, mindset, and then obviously, like as I said, like the senior guys are playing huge role. The other staff, like other coaches, actually giving them lots of support, and local, like especially local guys are giving them lots of support. So I think he's a good man. I think he will deliver best, inshallah.
Yesterday, Faraj was more successful in playing this week. Today, Miraz and 9 and Zakir also play the sweeps more. Was it the instructions for the team management to try to execute the sweep more?
Look, as a spinner, as an Asian spinner, I always know one thing, not even now. If you doesn't have a good sweep shots or a back foot, front foot shots on good balls, if you don't get singles against spinners, you're gonna always struggle. So I think those are the options we always have, and you see that the both of the guy got 100 and got 70 odd. He has good sweeps. He lots of time he get beaten, but you got to stick with your strength. And today our batsmen actually apply that, and then you see the success. You got to take some chances on the pitches like that when bowlers are bowling well. I mean, Tajul Islam bowled brilliantly, but because they were keep sweeping him, keep reverse sweeping him, so it put little bit more pressure on spinners. So I think we are very happy the way of the guys actually have that attacking option. And against spinners, you got to understand playing sweep. Sweep is a very good option basically.
The last two questions.
Towards the end of the day, the light wasn't great, but both Mirage and Naeem were quite comfortable. Were they disappointed to have to come off early?
I think when you're very much in, when you very much set, like you got to have that momentum. But tactically, like whatever comes you front of you, you got to adapt that condition. I think that was maybe, like for fast bowlers, maybe that was light wasn't great. So I think it was good for them. But at the moment, they were looking good. But umpire has to make a decision, and we have to respect umpire's opinion.
Coach, how is your experience working with the Bangladesh national teams overall? I have to ask you because you were here for the first time. I think. How is your experience working with the spinners?
Brilliant. I think there's great bunch of guys. Not only cricketers, they go coachable people. Remember the word I'm using, coachable people. They're very hungry to learn with the experience we have, especially spin department, tactically, how to set the field. It's going to take some time. But when as a spinner you start understanding the situation and when to attack, when not to attack, how to win matches, all those things spinners has to learn with the field position. I always use that phrase, you got to understand the situation, how to get wickets. It's the art. Talent can, or experience or skill can take you for the time being or for the one stage. But the next stage is you got to learn how to get 5 wickets, 4 wickets.
There is a lot of discussion about Rishad Hussain working with him. How is your experience with working with him? Will be available for the longer version of as well?
I think to be very honest, he's a very good future of Bangladesh cricket, white ball cricket at the moment, because you can see the World Cup, and especially like the way of internationally, like all the franchise, all the leagues actually after him. So because he's a match winner, he can get you wicket. He has that potential to win matches from nowhere. As a leg spinner, tall leg spinner, he's got a big spin, good pace, good bounce, good drift. Everything he has. He started learning wrong and googly also. So having said that, for longer period, a longer version of the game, he has to play first class cricket. I think he has to learn the art bowling good 25 overs rather than good 4 overs or 10 overs. I think that can only be done in first class cricket.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.